Hey guys, welcome back. So last time we set up our header for the project. So in this video, we are going to go ahead and start talking about models. But before we go any further, I want us to talk about how to extend the default authentication that Django gives us. So like we said, Django comes with a default authentication app. So that does things really well, but a lot of the times you're going to want to extend it. So extending it means you want to change maybe how users are created. So by default, Django is going to be using username and password for the authentication. Let's say you want to use email password. Let's say you want to use phone number to log in, those kind of things. So also they basically come with the different attributes on the user, but the ones you might want might not actually come with it. So things like date of birth may not be available, and you may want to really add those to a user. So there are different ways you can do it. One of them is to like have a profile model where you save like extra user information like date of birth or their city, those kinds of things. So that can do well, but still you may not be able to do things like authenticating by email using that kind of approach. So another way is to extend the abstract user. So the abstract user is like the model that Django itself uses, and then we add to it. So that's the approach you're gonna take. But to take that approach, you need to prepare for it. So every time you create a new project, that is the first thing you're going to want to do, because right now we have already migrated our initial tables, meaning authentication is already set up. So that approach cannot work anymore. But since we are in development, we can do it. So obviously the way you would do it is you go to your authentication app, then in the models.py. Okay, so for us to be able to override the abstract user, we want to import it. So from Django contrib.auth.models import abstract user like this. Then here let's create our own class. So this class can be, you can call it anything, and then it should inherit from abstract user. So by default, its toString method is going to be returning username. So for us, we want to be now returning the email. So here let's do return self.email. So if we save this, you notice that immediately we get issues here. So that's because we had already migrated the initial changes, and now this new class we are creating is colliding with the changes that were saved before. So we want to tell Django to use either this class or the one it was using before for the user model basically. So we can go to settings here, and anywhere around here we can do auth user model, and then you can set that to the app name, authentication, then the class. So our class is called user. So and save. So when we save, you see that now the server starts up again, and so we have successfully extended the abstract user. So if you ever get any issues because you had run some prior migrate commands, you can quickly delete your file and then recreate it. So if I did like this delete here and then maybe this restarted this server, you see that now migrations are there, and now if we run the migrations, it should be able to sync with this new model. So if you want to take a look at what's in the abstract user, it's everything that the default Django authentication model uses. So over here we have like validations for the username. We have all these other attributes that are defined on that model. So all the things, now that we are inheriting from the abstract user, we can go ahead and basically override all this stuff. So one of the things you may normally want to override will be the create underscore user and create super user. So these are the ones. So you want to see how they are written, it's like their signature, and see how you want to change those. For example, if you wanted to use like email and password, if you wanted to use email password instead of username password, there is a key called username field. So username underscore field. So you see by default it is username. So those are the things you would be changing in your new model. The last thing you want to do is in the admin.py, you want to register your new user model, of course, so that it can show up in the admin section. So here you want to import the model. So from .models import user. Then you also want to import the default user admin. So from Django contrib auth admin import user admin. Okay, then you want to add this to the admin site. So admin site register. So we want to register our model and also its admin, the user admin. Okay, so this will make sure that our model basically shows up in the admin section, and everything we make changes to here will be showing. Okay, so that's gonna do it for now. So in the next video, we're gonna talk more about models, specifically the models for the to-do. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later.